What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Listen, guys, grab some popcorn, cup of coffee, gather around. I introduce to you a short film titled Modern Day Marriage, a Real Love Story in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Commentary by yours truly. No, really, guys, pay attention to this. This is actually a pretty good little, I don't even know what to call this, like short comic movie put together about modern day marriage. Trigger warning before we get into it. This shit is real. No more wasting time. Let's get it. Drama. So we have the wife here who's talking to one of her friends, a female friend, and she says the romance is gone and he doesn't give me enough attention. So she's complaining, right? It started off beautiful, but then reality sinks in. Time to drink coffee. Another woman, her friend, responds to her and says, yeah, girl, you deserve better. And of course, this is an example of women encouraging delusion and entitlement when modern wives think that they're not getting enough attention and romance. Let's keep watching. It's getting real interesting. Oh shit. Tyrone's in the DMs now. Now Tyrone's DMing your wife. And he says, you're so beautiful. I can't stop thinking about you. Probably an old friend, an old lover. And she responds to him and says, stop. You know I'm married. Stop it, Tyrone. Stop.
Put that coffee down.
Oh, Tyrone is back. He's back with another message. He says, come on, let me come over for coffee. Tyrone drinks coffee, guys, while he's at work. Tyrone wants to drink some coffee and bust those cheeks, right? She responds, this is the married woman, responds and says, okay, but just for coffee and chat. Word for word what every woman says before she gets her cheeks clapped, but I may be wrong. Let's see what happens. Go! Tyrone's busting those cheeks. Tyrone's busting those cheeks fast, not slow, as expected. So we've got another photo here from the guy. He obviously, the husband, found out and says, how could you do this to me? With the question mark, she responds and says, he made me feel special. Made her feel special. Listen, I'm laughing, but the reality is this is too accurate for a lot of men out here. I'd venture to say at least a portion of this for the majority of men out here. Woman complaining that she's not getting enough romance and attention and ends up doing something that jeopardizes the relationship. By now, you've already signed those contracts, right? The authorities in the state. If she leaves with everything, almost. And he's devastated because what's he's been doing? He's been working hard. And then this happens. And if you say, well, men cheat more, that's not true. In our modern day today, women cheat more than men. Don't believe me? I advise you go look at some recent research known as the Great Correction, where they basically just counter all these beliefs that are centered around like men cheating more than women. And it's headed by a female anthropologist by the name of like Martin. I wish I knew her full name. But you can go search the study titled Women Are More Likely to Cheat Than Men, published by Sarah Marinos, right? These are women who are heading these studies. Anyways, my bad, guys, getting sidetracked here. Let's get back into this drama. Whew, divorce. He's devastated. And now she's got the bags of money. Sounds about right. Damn. She keeps the house. Tyrone's still busting the cheeks while he's in a studio apartment somewhere struggling to keep up with rent by himself. Oh, man.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Can't make this shit up. Next, shit, the kids are going to hate me. This is the mom talking. And the kids are like, we miss daddy. She says, your daddy's living a new life now. He doesn't have time for you. The lies single mother households tell their children. Dad is working, he's drinking, he's trying to cope with the situation. She then tells her kids moralize and says it's your father's fault because he mistreated me and ignored me for years. And because I didn't get what I want, I all this shit up for all of us. And then she justifies it. Her Facebook DMs are piling with messages from guys lining up to beat it from the back. This one reads, "What an a-hole. It sucks that you had to go through that." Right? These are all the guys that are sympathizing with her, aka just found out that she's single again. Another message here from another guy reads, "I'll always be there for you." She's over there like, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys' support." Let's keep watching. More lies. "Your dad is probably out there with the new girl while I take care of you kids." Dad's just in his house trying to cope. He's not trying to get into another relationship. She's at home. "Time for bed, kids. Knock, knock. Oh, look, it's Chad at the door," right? It's time for Chad to get his rounds in with your wife. Jeez. So then this gentleman decides to open up to a friend and he says, "I'm depressed, I'm lonely, and I don't know what to do." And the friend says, "Hey bro, try online dating." And all he finds on there are Lizzo-sized women with captions like, "Don't even bother if you are shorter than 6'2" and don't have a hot body. "Must have a lot of money and treat me like a princess. My kids always come first." He's like, what the F? It's a nightmare. He's talking to his kids here. "Remember kids, daddy loves you and misses you a lot." This is sad. This is sad. This is sad because this is reality. And the kids respond to him, "Whatever, dad, we know that you have a new girlfriend and don't have time for us," feeding into the mom's lies. Text message here that reads, "Why did you tell the kids that I had a new girlfriend and didn't have time for them?" She responds and says, "Because it's probably true. And don't try to talk shit about me to them or you'll never get to see them again." Another very real experience for men who get married in today's modern day, weaponizing the kids to gain leverage and control the situation. Women do this.
3, 2, 1.
So he's breaking his computer with the hammer there. Yeah, so there you go, guys. There's your modern day short film about marriage. This was actually released on Instagram, and as always, people reacted to this video. Let's see what the people had to say. First comment here comes from a man and says, "I gotta dump my girlfriend." 200 plus likes. That's hilarious. Says, "I gotta dump my girlfriend." Funny. Or just maybe consider not entering into a contract that is set for you to fail as a man. Another person here says, "Happened to me. I miss my kids." Again, very real for a lot of men out here. 100 plus likes. Another guy here says, "Watch my dad go through this. I'm never having kids because of it." 100 likes. Another guy responded to him and says, "Go have kids, man. Just move differently than your dad did." He responded to that guy and said, "Not worth the risk. Rather die old and alone with all my shit than with nothing and kids that hate me." Wow. So is this guy admitting that he hates his dad? Or it also could be that the relationship was so damaged earlier on before he could get the full picture and actually see that his dad did care about them. Right? He fed into those lies so much that the damage that caused between their relationship is almost irreparable. But I think to anybody out here who still wants to work things out with their father, go do it. Reach out to your father, man. Reach out to your dad and have that difficult conversation. And you may be surprised to find out that he's not that monster that your mother painted him to be. And listen, I know women will probably hurt during relationships, but at the end of the day, when it affects the kids, it goes way too far. Now you're affecting a generation of people. For example, this guy who doesn't want to have kids. We've got another comment here from another person who says, "Went through something very similar to this. Unfortunately, this hit too close to home for me." And for those of you guys who did go through something very similar to this, and I know there's a lot, I'm curious, how have you coped with the after effects of being through this type of an experience? How have you maintained your peace and moved forward. Another person responded to him and said, do tell, kind man. Another commenter responded and says, yep, same here, brother. So this is another guy who went through this. It can be really hard on a man. Happened to me and 2 friends. Very common situation. And this is why male spaces are important and growing, because men are finding other ways to cope, to rebuild. They're getting rid of that pressure that society puts on them to get another marriage and relive this type of experience. And they're focusing on bettering themselves, right? And not tying themselves to another woman and kids. Some men will get married and repeat the cycle, and that to me is just kind of crazy. Another person commented and said, Disney sold us a lie. That's true. They had you guys drinking that Kool-Aid. Me too at one point. Another guy responded to that guy and said, glad someone saw this was a Disney shit. There are women out here having kids with dudes they know they shouldn't. I'm assuming that's supposed to say, effing guys they know they shouldn't. But then expect that Prince Charming, who was made just for her, is going to fix things. Kind of hard to read that one, but we understand what he's trying to say. And finally, the last comment here reads, it's possible that she really is that bad, but this looks one-sided, that it's almost cartoonish. We've got an unbeliever here that these stories really happen just as depicted in this animation. 3 people responded to this guy. The first person said, you've been married before? It's basically just like that. 400 likes to that comment. They agree. Of course, the women liked the first comment, right? Another person responded and says, it's literally a cartoon. And the last comment from a gentleman reads, it is like that. Yeah, man, it's stories like this that warn young men to be careful, how they conduct themselves going forward if they're considering marriage, and also have led to male platforms like this that kind of give men different alternatives after being through divorce, which I think is completely healthy. And I think one of the biggest reasons a lot of men today don't want to get married is these type of stories right here that we hear countless amount of times. Guys, as always, like I always say, stay informed, know as much as possible, especially for somebody who still sees value in marriage. Protect yourself, because this is very real. Every man wants to do what's best for him in his own eyes. I appreciate you all for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.